Hello, thank you for joining me. It's Monday the 10th of July. So I'm going to use my Muse Tarot today and do a reading for you. Let's see what comes out. These are very creative cards, so I kind of feel like there's a bit of creativity in the air today. Maybe that'll reflect in our cards. Oh, not this again. Okay. All right, we've got the moon. My goodness, I pulled this card from this pack last week. And yeah, and we've got the three of materials, which is an interesting looking card, isn't it? With those three people kind of balancing their heads together, putting their heads together. It's funny actually, because last week's energy was quite intense. We had the full moon at the start of the week, and then we had the Sirius Gateway portal, which went on for the rest of the week and finished on Saturday. But I was talking to some of the people that I kind of have met through tarot that are also mediums and tarot readers, and it was very much like we'd all sort of lost our way a bit. And it's weird when that happens, when you kind of fall into just all of a sudden you're not following your spiritual practices. I do like a meditation every day, and I just didn't get round to doing it for a couple of days and just felt really, really lost, like I'd just completely disconnected. And I do feel sometimes when you have a really powerful surge of energy, without even realising, you perhaps take on so much. And, you know, our little human brains have to get a bit overwhelmed, or maybe take a little bit longer to try and figure stuff out. So I really feel like that's why this moon has come in, because it was only a week ago when we had that full moon. In fact, I went for a run yesterday and I saw the moon really bright in the sky. It was a lovely sunny morning, but the moon was quite almost like a super moon, but about like that much of it. And oh wow, I haven't even thought about you for a couple of days. So it's funny how that goes, and I think our life goes like that. You know, we can have these super duper spiritual moments, and then a dip while we're perhaps our human selves getting used to it. I don't know, but the really important thing, I feel that this is coming in here, and I love this beautiful pinkness of this moon to remind us that our feminine energy does go in waves, and sometimes we're up and sometimes we're down, and that's okay. I just don't be too hard on yourself if you suddenly think, oh, okay, I thought I was connected and now I'm not. You haven't lost the connection. You're just kind of now making sense of that connection and how it's going to play out in your life. So it's always there, that, we've always got that connection. Just sometimes we really feel it, and sometimes it because when you've had an intense period and then it wanes a little bit, it doesn't mean you've lost it. So I really feel like that's the collective message and why that moon has come out. Don't forget, the moon is always up in the sky. We're now moving towards a new moon, which we shall have beginning of next week. Doesn't mean it's not there just because you can't see it. You can feel that energy, and I think that's the same with your own spirituality and your own soul purpose. Sometimes you're really, really feeling it, and sometimes you're not, and that's because we've got this three of materials now, which is very much focusing on our human self and what we've got to get done. And I'm looking at the faces of these three ladies here, and they look a bit unhappy, don't they? Like they're stacking their heads up as if to say, I've got a lot, like things are stacking up. So maybe as we are, even though we're in the summer and we're meant to be we are in the northern hemisphere anyway, but it's that idea of winding down for the summer. But you don't realise how exhausted you are or how much you've got to do. A friend of mine is a teacher, and you know who you are. And you were counting down your 5 days, 1 week and 1 day that you got left before you could go off and do what you want to do for the summer. And I feel like it's very much that energy, especially if you have got school kids. I mean, my son's just left school because he had his GCSE, so he finished in June. And I've almost forgotten, but kids are still at school, and it's that, well, the kids are exhausted, you're exhausted, you've still got to get them school runs going, and it's that last week is a real effort. And I feel in these faces here that maybe we're just feeling that. And when you have got that that kind of feeling that, oh God, I've just got to get through this week and then I'm done and then I can relax. You know, maybe you've got a holiday planned or, you know, some time off in some way. Maybe it's the end of a very long, you've had like a run of shift work to do and you know the end's in sight. I kind of feel like that is what is perhaps stopping us. We can't always just be, you know, sitting out under the moon meditating. Sometimes we've just got stuff to do. But what I do love about this card, I don't feel like it's negative at all. It is just a reminder of sometimes, you know, we've got our human self and our spiritual soul self, haven't we? We're almost like two beings in one body, and you know, sometimes they're working in unison and sometimes one takes priority over the other. So I do feel last week with that huge energy that we had, our spiritual soul purpose was really in the spotlight, and I feel like this is maybe feeling like we've come down to earth with a bit of a bump, but don't look at that as a negative. Try and look for the beautiful positive signs that, you know, we are on this world to enjoy it. And what I really am drawn to are these roses actually. I just noticed some beautiful little group of orange roses in my garden, and as much as it is lovely to see them, actually smelling them is such a wonderful experience. You know, a couple of seconds to just bend over and smell the rose, it just fills up your senses and makes you realise that there's a lot of beauty in the world and we shouldn't ignore it, even if we're busy and got lots and lots of stuff to do. So, you know, if you've got a week's worth of school runs left to do, maybe if you see some lovely roses along the way, stop and smell them for a little bit, or just find that little 10 minutes to do something that you will connect you back to nature in some way, and just make you feel a little bit grounded. These ladies have got beauty all around them. And, you know, the universe is all around them as well, but they're kind of not seeing it there, are they? So I think that's a really important message for all of us if we are feeling a little bit bogged down today. Obviously, it's a Monday morning. A lot of you maybe have work, but try and find some happy goodness in your day if you can. And remember that moon is always shining, well, not shining down on us. It's always there over us, even if we can't see it. That lovely energy is there. Okay, now I'm going to have to go because there's a little baby blackbird in my garden and I can hear him fluttering around, and he came in the dining room yesterday, so I'm going to go and shut the door. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another reading for you. Okay, bye for now.